ruined than an entire life? Or do you say nothing? Your job is to be supportive and participate in your friend's happiness. So what do you do in those circumstances?
You be, you're literally between a rock and a hard place, aren't you?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's a really tough one, isn't it? Because ideally you don't want to ruin someone's big day, do you? Because they've been looking forward to it. Some people like that bubble, don't they? They like to live in a. There's nothing wrong with living in a bubble,
Mm.
So right, okay. I'll have to think about this one. What would I do? What would I do? What would you do? So, first of all, I would try to gauge his. it's a, it's not an easy one, is it?
It's not.
No. Well, first of all, I would try to gauge his level of happiness, right? So I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, bro, um, how happy are you, going forward with this? And if it's a static, if it goes, wow, I've been waiting for this all my life, this is all I've always wanted, then I wouldn't tell him. But if I ask him and I said on a scale of 1 to 10, and he says, about 4 or 5-ish, I'll be like, why? So I want to draw him out a little bit, draw him out
Mm.
with questions. I'd be like, why? And if he goes, you know, between you and me, or well, I've noticed this and I've noticed that, and I'll be like, oh, really? So why are you still going forward with it? And if he's not like 100% happy, nobody's 100% happy, but it, from my gauging of his happiness, if it's not all right, so let me say if it's not 85% happy to go ahead, I will then tell him. I would say to him, actually, I don't think it's the right time to bring this up, but you know, um, all right. Before that, let's backtrack a little bit. Before that, before all that, I would say to
Yeah.
him, if you, if you, if I was in your position and I'd play the scenario out to him. I'd say, if I was in your position and you saw my fiance, would you tell me? Would you? Uh, and if he says no,
Yeah,
then-
that's giving it away. That's giving it away, though, isn't it? If you say that, why would you say that to him on his
yeah.
wedding day?
Well, I would, all right, I would have to lie a little bit. And I know a man of my position is not supposed to openly say I was going to lie. I was going to say, well, it's unrelated. I would say it's unrelated. I would say it's just something somebody said. It just got me thinking. Huh? Huh? See? and I would quickly end it that way. And if he says no, I wouldn't, no, I wouldn't want to spoil your joy or whatever. Then I've got my answer. I would say, oh right, yeah. I would say, yeah. Good luck on your big day.
So you'd base your decision on what he said to your question, which in reality it would be very difficult to go and say that to somebody. Your best mate, he's getting married, and you
Yeah,
go up and say, "Look, I just want to ask you something totally unrelated." He
yeah.
might think, "Well, what are you asking me that today for?" And I guess he will get a bit suspicious. What are you asking me that today for? And I guess he will get a bit suspicious. But so your answer would be, from what you've said, you wouldn't tell him. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it'd be based on what he would have done. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
So
but
whatever.
how could you actually have asked him though, without, as I say, alerting him to something strange going on. You'd be giving it away, I would have thought.
All right. Okay.
But can I turn it round a bit here? Let me turn it round. What
Right.
if
Okay.
what if it was you, right? Now it's you and
Yeah.
me. You're getting married, right? You've
Yeah.
been invited me along for the
Yeah.
big day, and one way or another in the morning,
Yeah.
I'm in the offices of Deepstuff Records, and in the
Yeah.
morning I discover that your bride to be
Yeah.
is playing around with your best man. Who I
Yeah.
might say I would be very disappointed you hadn't chosen me as your best man, but we'll gloss over that one for the moment. But
Right. Okay.
your bride to be, I discover, is
Yeah.
having an affair, really playing around with the best man, and that later in the day, she's going to be in the aisle, ready to get married to you, her husband to be,
Yeah.
supposedly to live happily ever after. Now,
Yeah.
I'll ask you, if you're in that position, if you knew, or even if you didn't, would you rather I told you what I
Yeah.
discovered
Yeah.
in whatever the circumstances of your happiness level or whatever?
Yeah.
Would you rather know what your bride to be was up to, or would you rather say, actually, I'd rather not know because it'll probably fizzle out what they're doing anyway, and everybody's got a past, and it's best not to delve into history. I'd rather accept it. So what would your choice be if you were that person about to get married to this cheating fiance?
It was an easy one for me to answer up until the point where you said everyone's got a past, and that sort of just it sort of widens the scope a little bit. Does that make sense? Right.
Yeah,
Everything that you said, I was gonna go, yep, that's an easy one for me. Here's what I would have done. But then you said everyone's got a past. And then I'm like, whoa, how far does this past go? Does that make sense? How far
yeah.
does how far does the past extend to? If the past is 2 weeks, it's a different answer. If the past is 10 years, it's a different decision. Does that make sense? So, if you hadn't said everyone's got a past, I would have said, yeah, that's an easy one for me. This is what I would have done. Yeah. Or this is how I would have handled it.
Well, what was that? What would you have done then? Would you
Right.
have rather?